Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erin and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Open Money, where we talk to real people about their real personal financial journeys. On this episode, we are featuring John. John is actually a retired veteran of the US Air Force and a recent retiree. Let's hear how he's handled his finances.
Hi, I'm John. I'm 61 years old and I live in Buffalo, New York.
Well, welcome to the channel. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, no problem.
Well, do you want to start off with breaking down what your net worth looks like, assets and liabilities?
Sure. Actually, I'm retired. I have no liabilities,
Awesome. Debt free.
debt free. Um, I have about $20,000 in cash,
Okay.
50,000 in a Roth IRA, 50,000 in a traditional IRA, and about 175,000 in a brokerage account.
Okay. So what is that total to?
295,000, I think.
Okay, perfect. So you mentioned you're retired. How long have you been retired?
Been retired since the start of the pandemic.
Okay.
Um, what happened was I was working and the pandemic hit, and I really did not like working during the pandemic.
Hmm.
And I turned 59 and a half, and I knew that my Roth and my traditional IRA, I could get into them then.
Yep.
So I ran the numbers and found that I could retire.
Okay.
So I did it.
Can I ask what industry you left?
Sure, I worked for the VA
Okay.
uh, as in the education department for the post 9/11 GI Bill.
Wonderful. Awesome. So
So
the post 9/11 GI Bill, is that for education?
that's for education, yeah, for soldiers and their families.
That's what I thought. My husband's military, so we often talk about that.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great deal.
Yes, it
Um,
helps a lot.
mhm.
You are in a government position. Does that mean there's a pension involved?
Yes,
Okay.
there is. I was only in the VA for 10 years,
Okay.
but I do have a military pension as well. I was in the Air Force for 20 years.
Wonderful.
Uh,
Thank you for your service.
oh, it's an honor, sir.
My dad was Air
Um,
Force as well.
was he?
Yeah, my
Good
mom and
deal.
dad actually met on an Air Force base. My mom was a civilian who just had a civilian job there, but my dad was Air Force.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and your husband's Air Force, or no, he's
He's
Army.
he's Coast Guard actually. So,
Okay, the Coast Guard, that's great.
yeah. So where were you stationed?
I was stationed in Plattsburgh, New York.
Hmm.
It's closed now. Barksdale, Louisiana.
Hmm.
Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana. And Ankara, Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my overseas tour.
Nice.
And we did a couple of trips to war and stuff like that, and that was the career. So,
Have you ever heard of K.I. Sawyer?
oh yes,
That's
yeah,
where my parents met. That's in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
right,
Yep. And
yes,
that's where I learned to drive because it's shut down now. So when I was like, I probably shouldn't say, but like 13, 14, we would get to drive around all the roads because there was no one there.
right, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
trying
we
to
like the
think.
Air Force.
Yeah, yeah. K.I. Sawyer was a great base.
Now I have to ask, so it was obviously in the cards to do 20 years to get a pension.
Uh-huh.
So that's also, I would assume, led to very affordable health care going into retirement.
Yes, I pay nothing for my health care
Wonderful.
because of the I go to the VA for everything. I am 90% disabled, so I get money for that,
Mhm.
and I also get free health care.
And I
Yeah.
know not everyone is totally sure on this. You guys, as the retired military members, get complimentary health care at the VA. What about family members?
No, no. They have TRICARE
Yes.
that you can use, and that goes into retirement, but no.
Hey, I just had to clear it up. But I mean, I think
Uh,
you guys deserve so much for everything you've done for the country. But I mean, at least you have
yeah,
access to care at a very affordable price of complimentary. But I know there's still
right,
issues with the VA and slow turnaround times. And yeah.
Right. I actually have here in Buffalo one of the best VAs.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yes, it used to be one of the worst, but they turned it around and it's one of the best.
Hey, well, I hope they can do that with all the VA clinics because I just know that's not the case. So if everyone can go in the right direction, I'm all for it.
Yes.
And I think
Yeah.
that's like a huge, huge thing to have affordable healthcare in retirement.
Absolutely. It was the only way I could retire early, uh,
Absolutely.
was with that. And also it helped because I didn't pay healthcare, you know, for all my jobs.
Yeah,
So it helped with the savings that way.
absolutely. Now, do you have any sort of pension from your time with the VA or is it just the military pension?
No, I got the military pension,
Hmm.
the disability, and a
Hmm.
small pension from the VA, about
Wonderful.
$250 a month.
What
Yeah,
is
it's beer
your
money.
What is your I have beer money? I like that. For me, it'd be like cider money because I like
Yeah.
hard ciders. My husband, it would be bourbon money. So what does the
Yeah.
income look like from all of those, the disability, the VA, and military?
It actually comes out to about 3,800. Okay, about
Wonderful.
45,000 a year.
That's
Um,
great.
yes, and then later this year I start Social Security, so
Okay.
that'll bump it up to about 60,000.
So you're going to take Social Security at 62?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm overweight and you know I don't have the best health, so uh,
Everyone takes it at a time that's right for them. So I was just kind of
yeah,
clarifying. I'm like, you must be turning 62.
yeah. So yes, that's later this year. I take that.
Perfect.
So don't know what I'm going to do with it because I already pay all my bills
Yeah, I
with
was
what
gonna
I have.
say, is that gonna impact your standard of living or anything like that?
I don't think so because I'm happy where I am.
Hmm.
I'm in a retirement senior um, senior apartments,
Yeah.
um, and I don't like traveling.
Hmm.
So there really isn't a lot I spend money on. So it'll probably just be socked away or wasted away, one or the other.
Well, maybe you can splurge on something fun for yourself here and there, or I mean, your
Right.
investments will grow in retirement.
Right. Yeah. Which is what I'm finding. They're growing a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, till this year. But
Totally. So
but
you must not touch them at all then if everything is covered by your income.
right. I don't touch them at all. I consider them legacy.
Yeah.
So I haven't been aggressive
Okay.
because, you know, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
I'm
don't
not
need it
gonna
in the near term.
what's that?
If you don't need it in the near term.
No, I don't. I don't need it in the near term. So and uh and the military takes care of I'm hoping they'll take care of my nursing home if I go end up in one of those. So uh I'm still a little bit confused about that with the VA, but I think they do,
I
which
bet
is
you
really
have a few
good.
connections who can help you navigate that.
Well, there's what they have is they have people like American Legion
Mhm.
and several other ones that help you navigate through the disability stuff and through the VA. And they're in every community. I know I used one when I was in Plattsburgh after I had gotten out. I used one for my disability, and it was from the county. It was, they worked right in the county, which was really good. Um, then I came to Buffalo, and they were right at the VA center. And but they're all around. These people
Wonderful.
help you with that stuff.
Well, I think anyone in that kind of position needs that sort of guidance with someone who's been there before because it's so confusing when working out
Right.
VA benefits and disability benefits and everything like that. So having someone to guide you through
Absolutely.
it.
Yes. Yes, and I've gone to them several times, and they've done me well.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Now, can
Yeah.
I ask like what a typical day looks like? I know you mentioned you have a high percentage of disability. What does your day look like?
Um, well, one of the reasons I moved into the senior community was because I was lonely.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we have a group of people in here, about 10, 12 people that we go to lunch about once a week,
Oh,
play
good.
bingo on Tuesday nights and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it's not really that busy.
Mhm.
I try to keep busy, but not a lot. I tried the volunteering, but I don't like the idea of being somewhere every day, every Tuesday at 2 o'clock or something like
Yeah.
that. So I'm still looking for things to fill my day, but overall, it's just relaxing.
Okay. That's not too
Mhm.
shabby. Do you have any hobbies that you try to sneak in there whenever you can?
What I like doing taxes, and
You like doing taxes?
yes,
I just wanted to make sure I heard that right.
yes, I consider them like a puzzle, how to
Yeah.
get the best out of it. So I do those for a few people.
Mhm.
I've done it professionally a little bit. After I retired, I signed on to a firm here and did them for a year. But then once again, they wanted me there Tuesday at 2 and Monday at 9, and I didn't like that.
Want
So
that flexible schedule. So is
right.
that your background, accounting and that kind of
No,
work?
actually, as I was personnel in the military,
Okay.
so basically my background is more government paperwork.
Okay.
It's probably the best way to put it.
Which is the most complex paperwork there is on the planet.
Right, and I found I went from the military paperwork, and then when I walked into the VA, it was the same type of paperwork.
Mhm.
It's just it's all the same, complicated for no reason.
Yes, like there's 12 copies. You got to collate it. You got to get someone else
Right.
to sign it. Send it through 4 departments.
Right. Absolutely. So,
Well, I love that you have a pension because I feel like pensions have really gone to the wayside, and so retirement planning is so much more complex without a pension.
yes, it is.
Has it
Yeah.
been a fairly seamless transition going from working to retirement as far as income is concerned?
Yes, it was because my income coming in, you know, I stopped work when I didn't need the paycheck. And
Perfect.
so so it was seamless.
Mhm.
Um, I still save money every month.
Mhm.
I put $500 into the brokerage account every month. And so it's pretty seamless.
What do you invest in these days? I know you said it's aggressive.
And yeah, I've been doing the what are they called? EFTs?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've been doing EFTs. I'm kind of new to them, so I
Mhm.
don't understand them too much, but I wanted to learn more about them, so I invested in them, which is the wrong way to do it, but I
Well,
kept
I
on
mean,
trying to.
I don't know. When people are starting out investing and they're very young, like when I talk to 20-year-olds, I always tell them, take $50, put it in. You'll learn very quickly when you have some skin in the game. Not that you want to be throwing thousands of dollars in as a learning experience.
Yeah, but I changed from mutual funds to EFTs.
Mhm.
I find they're about the same.
Do you have an industry
Yes.
you go for?
Yeah, I have it's I go through Scroy Financial, and I'm set up with about 10 EFTs.
Hmm.
So it's well diversified.
Yeah.
Um, but I noticed one of the main ones that tracks the S&P 500.
Yeah, they function very similarly to index funds, but instead
Right.
of being a fund that only trades at the end of the day, they function more like a stock. So you could place an order for them at 10 a.m. or 2 p.m., where an index fund, you can only do it at the close of the day, but they're very similar.
Right. Yeah, and I knew a little bit about EFTs, but
Yeah.
enough to invest. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to know a little bit more, so I went to EFTs.
Perfect.
So
And
yeah,
that's primarily in the brokerage. How about the retirement accounts? What does that look like?
they're in there. They're in the same thing,
Okay.
EFT. So all three of them are in aggressive,
Perfect.
and because I don't need them,
Yeah.
you know.
And you said it's going to be legacy money. Do you have someone it's designated to, a kiddo
Yeah,
or
my three boys. Yeah, I have three
three sons?
boys. So they'll split it up. You know,
Thanks.
I have 295,000 in legacy right now. I want to make it to 300, so each of them gets 100,000.
I
So
bet you will. We just need the market to do a little better this year, right?
right, right.
So do your
So
boys live near you?
no, they don't. Two are in the military. One's Air Force, one's Army,
Hmm.
and the other one lives in Ruston, Virginia.
Okay.
So he's in he does computers. He teaches computers. So
Did your two boys who went into the service, did they go kind of after seeing what you did and pension and healthcare reasons like that, or were there some other?
Yes. Yeah. Well, Jimmy went straight from high school,
Hmm.
so he's enlisted in the Air Force,
Hmm.
and uh, and DJ he went to college and did ROTC
Oh,
and
perfect.
went into the Army. So,
Perfect.
but yes, I encourage both of them to do that
Yeah.
because the pensions, and now they have the pensions with the TSP.
Hmm.
So so it's an even better deal, I feel, for the military people.
Absolutely. I know the plan changed in the recent past. So they have the old plan where you get your 50% pension of your base pay, and then they have like 40% with the
Right.
TSP. So it kind of depends on what
Yes.
plan you're on.
Yeah, and we talked about that quite a bit uh with my sons,
Yeah.
and they both decided to go with the 40% in the TSP
Really?
opposed to the 50%. Yeah, one of the things is they were young in the military
Hmm.
and they didn't know whether they were going to stay 20 years.
True.
So that's how come that was the main reason they went with the 40%,
Hmm.
so that they can get out of the military and have something.
My husband, the goal is to make it to at least 20 years, and then we'll kind of reassess as that gets closer. He chose the 50% plan
Oh, did he?
because I threatened if he chose the other one. I'm like, it's not an option that's guaranteed money, and you're making a career of it, so take the guaranteed
Right.
higher paycheck. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah, my
threatened him in a
sons were
loving way.
in a loving way. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's better money at the 50%. But that option of walking out
As
is
you said, it does create options.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and 40% isn't too bad either.
It's not too shabby. I mean, getting a pension nowadays, honestly, because
Right.
I always talk with him, like with his pension, I've never had a job that has a pension. And now working for myself, even less so. I have to create my own retirement account, but I have to work so much harder and save so much more to feel like I'm on
Right.
an equal retirement footing.
Yeah, one of the things I did that was interesting was I took up all my pensions and multiplied it by 25 to figure out
Mhm.
how much I would need
Yeah.
if I didn't have the pension. It was like a couple $1,000,000.
Oh, it's eye-opening. It's an absolutely a seven-figure sum. I mean, for many
Yeah.
instances, the longer you live, the more valuable it is. But I mean, these could easily be worth three, four,
Hmm.
5 million. So a
Right.
pension is nothing to scoff at. I love them.
Right. Yeah, I like the military pension because it starts when you get out.
Hmm.
So I started my pension at 41 years old,
Perfect.
you
You
know.
went in right at 20 then, right?
Yeah, 21. Yeah, I
Perfect.
went in and yeah, and that's that way when I got out, I didn't have to look for the job.
Yeah, you have like
But
a little less stress on your shoulders.
right, yeah, and um, so I floated around for almost 10 years
Wow.
before I got the military, the government job. Yeah.
But if you're still getting a paycheck, there's really, like I said, no stress, you know?
Right. There wasn't as much stress at all. So,
Now you still invest quite a bit, or you have over the years. What got you started investing?
well, actually, my first investment was terrible.
Okay.
Um, I had a couple $1,000 I wasn't doing anything with. So I went into a mutual fund into a internet stock
Hmm.
right at the top of the internet bubble.
Oh,
So
perfect. Great timing.
great timing. Yeah. Um, when I left that stock, it was worth $90
Oh, what
from
did you put in?
2000.
Okay. Wow.
So that kind of burned me for a little bit. And
Turned you
then,
sour on the market?
yeah, I kind of soured. Um, and then I, uh, I started saving in a 401k.
Hmm.
Okay. And that got me going again, for one of my jobs. I was working for Clinton County and, I started saving in a 401k and that got me going again.
Perfect. So when was that?
That was, early 2000s.
Okay.
because I got out in 2002. So, and then that was I got burned in the 90s with the internet stock. Got out in 2002. So I would say about 2004, I started got up again.
So
Uh,
that's only like 18 years and you've built quite a nest egg.
oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I recently sold my house, so a lot of that's my house.
Oh, perfect.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So um, I bought a house in 2011 for about 140,000, and I sold it last year for 235,000. So
Well, you sold it at a great time. I mean,
right.
the
Yeah.
market.
Yeah, a lot of things, yeah, it walked in at a really nice time. So I look at it on the internet every once in a while, and now it's up to 265,000, but I'm not sure.
The market's a little different this year than it was last year.
Yeah, it is.
So
So
I think you sold at a good time just from the ease of it. And if you're happier where you are, that's really what matters.
yes, yeah, I am. I didn't like being in a three-bedroom house alone.
Hmm.
I'm not married, and it's just too big, and I don't like doing the lawn, and I don't like shoveling snow, and I am in Buffalo, so
Oh, you're
we have,
going to get plenty of it.
yeah, we get plenty of it. Um, so this was a much better place for me.
Good.
But
I
now,
think that's really what matters.
yeah.
So, how
So,
did finances play out in your relationships as you were growing up? Or not growing up, I'm sorry, as you were raising your family and
um,
everything?
once I retired,
Hmm.
money became its only money,
Hmm.
really, because I had that check coming in. I really was not stressed at all about
Hmm.
money. Um, when the kids were young, I was paying child support.
Hmm.
I was stressed about money, but but once I retired and the kids they all lived with me at that point, I really wasn't stressed about money.
I think that's a big testament to living within your means. If you
Right.
don't have
Yeah.
bills that exceed your income, life really isn't that stressful. From a
Right.
financial standpoint, life still has its own issues.
Right. Yes, I do. But it worked out well.
What's something you wish you would have learned earlier about money, or something you would always tell people about money?
I wish I would have learned earlier to stay out of debt.
Mhm.
That's the big thing. I played with the credit cards when I was younger, and I have no idea how much money I spent in interest on those
Yeah.
credit cards. But
Did you pay the minimum balance over time?
paid the minimum balance over time for a while and stuff like that. And then uh, once I got divorced, I got that. I started working towards all that stuff, and um, then I found out, hey, you have money at the end of the month. You don't have a credit card bill,
True.
so so that worked out well.
Do you remember what your biggest credit card balance was at any point?
Um, it was probably about 9,000, 9 or 10,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How long did it take to get out of that?
Um, Geez, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
A few years to get out of it.
So, how did you kind of come to that moment of like, I have to stop this cycle, I have to pay this off?
Um, well, a lot of things were happening, but basically, I just came to it and said, "This is ridiculous,"
Yeah.
and so I stopped using the credit card and I started paying it off and paid it off pretty good. By
Okay.
then, yeah, that was much later. We had the 9 or 10,000 dollars kind of young in our marriage.
Yeah.
This was probably about 96 is when I really took on the credit, and
Hmm.
by then it was like a couple thousand, but um, and I had divorced, and I wound up with this credit card bill, and I paid it off, and um, you know the finances changed quite a bit once I got divorced. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was easier with one person as opposed to two trying to do the credit and all that.
Oh,
Because
really?
Yeah, she wasn't very good at it.
Well, I mean, the title is, it is what it is. It's a title. But I think if you marry the right person, I mean, for love,
Absolutely.
of course, love comes first. But somebody who's good with their money and is on the same track with you and after the same goals as you both end up in a place that is better than either of you could achieve alone. And that was really the main goal of that.
Right.
But if
Right.
you
And
marry the
when I
wrong
saw that video, I just kept on shaking my head saying, yep,
Yeah.
yep, she's right. She's
But if
right.
you marry the wrong person, oh my goodness, you'll never get to your goals. Oh gosh.
I
It goes
found that
downhill.
out. Yes.
Sometimes, if it's the wrong one, you're just like, I gotta cut ties and go on my own on this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I did that after 12 years. And so she gets a part of my pension,
Mhm.
but that's all right. You know,
You're
she,
nicer than I would be. I've always told my husband, like, we are very happy. We love each other very much. And, the goal is to make it to the end of life together. But, things happen in life. But I would never touch his pension. That's his.
oh, it was required in New York State. She had 10
Required?
years. Yeah. She had 10 years and we were married for 10 years, so she gets some of my pension.
I understand that that's how it works. Like I know that that's
Oh, yeah, I guess it wasn't required, but
yeah. I
yeah,
know
it
that
wasn't,
opens up the door at 10
it
years, but
opens the
like,
door. Yeah.
my gosh, like the amount of work that he does for his pension, I'm like, no, I would never touch that. That's yours.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife didn't work, so she considered it
Yeah.
hers too.
Yeah, it changes the dynamic.
Right.
Military marriages are very hard in that respect.
They are. I think they say the highest divorce rate is police, but the second is military.
I can
So,
see that because even as the spouse of a military person, like if I didn't work from home and I didn't have the ability to have my own income that was kind of stable and could move with me, our marriage would be much harder because in our first couple moves, I had to go look for a job and then 3 years later quit it
right.
and then look for a new job, 3 years later quit it. And that is inherently very stressful when you care about money and saving and
Right.
investing.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yes, absolutely. So,
yeah.
and and my son has found that out.
Mhm.
He's married in the military, and he's been lucky. He's been in Tennessee for quite a while.
Mhm.
Um, but his wife has moved from school, and now she has her first job, and they're going to be moving next year. So they're going to be going through that.
It's hard. It is like
Yeah.
I think the best thing I can say in this position is get a job that's remote, but remote doesn't work for everyone. It takes a certain personality to not want to go into an office.
Hmm.
But if you can get a job that travels with you, not having that stress of constantly having to quit and then hunt for a new job, I think it makes your life easier. I think it makes your relationship easier.
Well, I agree. I agree. It really would. And and I saw it, before the opportunities for working from home.
Mhm.
I saw it a lot in the military where
Mhm.
the wives were just out there. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, they get an assignment, and you know now they're scrambling to find a job somewhere.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Very hard on the relationship. So that's something I don't like about being married to a military person, but
yeah,
he's worth it.
he's worth it. Great. Okay. He keeps peanut fed.
Well, I keep Peanut fed because he's gone. Like he left for work today and he will be home on Friday night
Right.
because that's just kind of military life.
Yes, it is.
But we
Yeah.
always joke that he's going out to get the peanut butter for the peanut.
Yeah. Just going to take a little while.
Yes.
2009 was when my investments really took off. Which,
Yeah.
yeah, that's when I got into the VA in 2009. And I said, okay, I'm gonna start, really going aggressive in my
Mhm.
IRAs, and and that was perfect timing with the market. And
It started the bull run.
yeah, it started the bull run. So that's when I started heavily investing again.
Mhm.
Um, Before that, it was just a little bit of playing, but
Mhm.
I started investing about 10% of my on my check. So I saw that. And one of the things I found is, I work to make life simple. So for me and my family, I know that, I'm going to die someday, and being in an apartment here instead of a house is big time more convenient for my family and stuff like that. So, um, and keeping all my finances in one place
Yeah.
for them as well.
That actually helps a lot because, oh, when my grandparents passed away, it was cleaning out a house that had 3 stories plus a basement. They had lived there for 60 some odd years, so you can imagine 60 years of stuff. And the finances were probably the most complicated thing ever because there were accounts at this institution and this bank and this life insurance policy and that life insurance policy.
Yeah.
It was years.
Right. My dad did the same thing. And, it took us a year to clean out the house. And um, so that put a scar on me and said, I'm not going to do that to my kids.
Yeah.
And, so.
I still strive like at this age, like, because you never know what happens in life. And I'm always a person thinking about death. I'm like, okay, this is where everything is. It's in a box here. Like, here's how you have access to things. I try to keep it as seamless as possible. I'm a minimalist. I don't have a lot of stuff.
Right.
I think when you go through it with a loved one, it does scar you like that.
Right. Yeah. And every once in a while, I'll go through a speech with my kids saying, if I die young, here's where everything is.
Yep.
This is what I want, and stuff like that. So that's important that they know that they're fulfilling my final wishes. So
I have those kind of conversations on the regular with my family. My answers change sometimes, like right now, and this is not a joke. I understand it sounds like a joke, but when you die, you can be cremated and turned into a firework, and I just don't want people to be sad. So I'm like, you can turn me into a firework, and you can be happy.
Oh, that's neat. That's really neat.
So Steve recently said he would be a firework with me.
I decided that I just want someplace where I'm recognized as a veteran.
Yep.
So and you can get cremated and be recognized as a veteran too. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I think that's important. You've dedicated much of your life to the service.
Yes. Yeah, I did. 20 years and then 10 years working with the military with the VA. So yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. I did take Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University. That kind of helped me with getting the well, I took it. I didn't have a lot of debt when I took Dave Ramsey, but I like his principles and I followed them for quite a while.
Well, I think everyone kind of has their own path. So, I mean, if he had tips that work for you, that's what matters,
Right. Yeah. And he kind of got me into the videos and stuff like that. Later I started looking, and then I found you on the internet. And,
awesome.
Yeah. Yours are great.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Pensions make planning for retirement so much easier. What do you guys think? Leave it in a comment down below. If you're interested in participating in the Open Money series, you want to talk about your budget, your net worth, any aspect of your financial journey, all you have to do is send me an email at erintalksmoney@gmail.com. I'd love to get you featured. I post new videos every single week. If you got anything at all out of this one, please give it a like. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, or if you know of someone who might get something out of this type of content, please consider sharing. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.